Hi guys, James from Twisted Assisted here. I'm down at the TA Custom Shop. We are going to be forcing a patina on these copper Twisted Atlas scales, and I just thought I'd take the opportunity to do a quick little video as to what our process is and how we achieve our shipwreck finish. So first thing you need to do is to get some acetone or another cleaning solvent. Isopropyl alcohol will work as well, but acetone, real acetone, is the best thing to use. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cover the scales in acetone. This is going to degrease and remove any oils or grease which will interfere with the patina process. This is an important step. Any oil is going to sort of block the chemical reaction. So we're just going to lift all of that off there. Forcing a patina on copper or brass is really something that you can just do at home, just using everyday household chemicals. So those are now clean. Let's transfer them now. We're going to transfer them to a Tupperware, your wife's best Tupperware. Here we go. This is essentially going to be an airtight place for the magic to happen. So just pop them on there. I've just cut some strips of foam to rest them on. I mean, you can use a little bit of tile batten or blocks of wood. That's absolutely fine. The next thing we're going to do is to cover them in a saturated salt solution, which I have here in a little atomiser bottle. For those of you that don't know, saturated salt solution is basically where you get some warm water and you keep adding salt to it until no more salt can dissolve, and then that is ready. I've also got a little pile of table salt here as well, which we're going to end up using. And what we're going to do is we're just going to spritz them lightly with the salt solution. Like so. And we're just going to spread that out a little bit. We can also do a little seasoning of salt all on them here. Now I've lined the bottom of this Tupperware with a bit of kitchen roll. That's quite important because what we're going to do is we're going to put a few drops of ammonia on inside the tub and then seal it up. And what's going to happen then is a chemical reaction is going to take place, and you will go from shiny copper to something that looks like this. This is the full shipwreck that we do. You can see that the copper has gone this beautiful kind of cobalt blue. Copper using this process will go blue, and if we use the same process on brass, then it would be more of a greeny colour. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a couple of drops of ammonia solution in there. Now this solution I'm using is quite strong stuff. It's 33%. It is really nasty stuff to breathe in, so you want to make sure that you're in a ventilated area. And this, I actually bought 5 litres of this on Amazon, and you can see I've decanted into a smaller bottle like this, just a safety thing. You wouldn't want to knock over 5 litres of ammonia at 33% purity in a confined space. That would be an incredibly bad day for you. So got the lid ready. We're just going to put a couple of drops. The temptation is to go mad and to absolutely fill it up with loads of ammonia, that is not advisable because less is more with this stuff. I'm just going to literally do a couple of drops. There we go. Right, we're going to put our lid on now. I'll put the lid back on this. You don't have to buy a special science grade ammonia. You can use any household products that you've got that have a high ammonia content. So yeah, don't feel that you've got to go out and buy 5 litres of ammonia. Just have a little look, see what's underneath the kitchen sink, and you may very well save yourself a few bob by finding something that has, say, something with a high quantity of ammonia. An example would be Brasso or something like that. They use that. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this somewhere up out of reach and just leave it alone. It's a good idea to use Tupperware, which has got a little, it's see-through, and you've got like a little viewing window to see how it's doing as you go along. You don't want to overdo it, and you certainly don't want to underdo it. If you find after an hour or hour and a half that not a lot is going on, then by all means, you can take the lid off, add a few more drops of ammonia, maybe an extra little pinch of salt, and then see how it goes from there. It's better to inch along like that rather than dump a load in at the beginning. I can already see inside there, it's starting to darken up. We're just going to put that to one side. Let's just go through a few of the finishes that I've done earlier today. We have got this finish. This is it's almost like an antiquey kind of finish. So it's darkened up nicely, and then we've got the blue sort of vein running through the scales like that. And how we achieved this was, once it had gone fairly blue, I took it out and got some Smurf poo, and we put some Smurf poo on just a bit of veg tan leather like that, and then you can see it shining there. You can see that I wanted the copper to sort of grin through, so that's how we did it. A bit of stropping compound, and then we just polished the tops of the scales that were in contact, and that has given us that finish. We also did like a full shipwreck where we just went nuts, and you can see there how blue that is. Now, with other scales that I've done the shipwreck finish on, I like to seal it with this here. This is Hycote lacquer, and I find that 3 coats is good for the Hycote spray lacquer. Just get some little pieces of wood like so, put your scales on, put it on a bit of cardboard, take it outside, and just do a couple of light coats, letting them dry in between. Now, with regards to these dragon scales, I'm not going to use any spray lacquer on these, and that's for 2 reasons really. I only use the spray lacquer on if you had, say, smooth plain Junsey scales, then you definitely do need some lacquer as protection to stop the finish just wearing off in your pocket. But as you can see, these 3D textured scales, there is hardly any chance, no chance at all, of the blue colouring wearing off, because it's protected. You know, if I rub my hand across here, it's just not going to come off. I also like the idea is of not using a spray lacquer on these, because these are going to continue to patina. It's going to continue to do things, and I'm just curious as to how this is going to go. Once you spray a spray lacquer on there, it will pretty much stop dead any further patina that's going to form. It will also darken up your scales, and I don't want to lose that lovely blue veins just running through it. So I think this is going to be acceptable not to use a spray lacquer in this instance. I might use a little bit of, say, Renaissance wax, or just a very light protective coat of wax, just to seal it in there and just to protect it. I think that's probably a good idea. The next stage is obviously getting these onto some knives and getting some shots, seeing what they look like. What I'll do is, in the description, I will write down the kit list that you're going to need to do this, just in case you didn't catch it during the video. And let me know in the comments what your recipe for doing a copper patina is, because everybody's got their own method. I just thought we would share ours. Okay, thanks very much for watching. All the best.